When can we leave?
I'd like to leave right now.
The event that we are talking about today
Mhm.
required us to attend with a sober
Oh my
mind.
gosh, I forgot about this.
I didn't, because I'm still upset about it.
FYI, this was in February. Was it a Valentine's Day event?
It was in February. Was it for Valentine's Day? Not officially.
That was our Valentine's Day date.
It wasn't supposed to be a date.
No, it was not.
It was supposed to be a group activity.
So I guess it starts in the group chat, right?
It always
Always
does.
does. And I believe this specific idea started with me. We're talking about going to a seance at the historical, beautiful, newly reopened Queen Mary in
Uh,
I
sorry.
was just gonna
What was
do that.
it was supposed to be a boat
About horn.
horn.
I was literally just gonna do that. So I'm glad you did it. Anyway,
Everyone turned it off
they
already.
did. They were like, you gotta get rid of this shit. These women. So, for those of you who don't know, the Queen Mary is an old historical boat. It was a boat in World War II, carried a lot of people to and from the war, got into an accident, killed a bunch of people, and then the city of Long Beach bought it and docked it, and now it's a hotel. There was a whole episode about it, about Unsolved Mysteries. It's one of the many things that I remember from my youth where I became very interested in this location. You,
What I have a
yes.
question. What's unsolved?
Uh,
What do they not know about it?
what was the first episode? They just wanted to have ghosts. But that episode specifically talks about, and this ties in later, the little ghost girl in the pool.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. Check it out. Everybody go watch. Go find a YouTube video on Solve Mystery.
It'll be more informative than
Yeah, it will
this.
be definitely more truthful, probably. I have a couple of Roman empires. I know a lot about the Winchester House for no apparent reason. I also know a lot about the Queen Mary. This is my fourth trip to the Queen Mary in my lifetime, which is a lot for me.
I assumed it would have been more because I have minimal
Uh-huh.
interest in have been quite a few
Yeah,
times for no
yeah.
reason.
I just went through a period of my life where I didn't go anywhere because I was with a partner who really didn't want to go anywhere. And so I wouldn't go by myself versus now, many years later, whatever, I'm just going to go. So I've done a lot more recently. So I would say like the 4 trips have definitely been within the last 10 years. That's a lot for me. It's all the way in Long Beach, people. It's a long drive.
So Kristen wanted to talk about the Queen Mary Séance today, and
Mhm.
initially, you couldn't see this on my face. I was like, "I don't wanna talk about
But
this.
it was great.
It
It did
sucked."
suck. But I would say we made the most of it.
Of course we did.
Um,
Of course we did.
but spoilers, this event sucked. The tickets were expensive. I'm sorry, Queen Mary. I really wanted to give this to you.
It was bad. I was going through the Queen Mary
Mhm.
website because I have been on a Queen Mary tour before, and I was trying to figure out what tour did I go on. And I remember I went with my husband to go to just a regular boat
Mhm.
tour. It was not a
Oh.
haunted tour, but it is still really scary because they take you through those really dark rooms with the we're not smart, the big machine-like
The engine
objects
room?
that look menacing. And oh,
The
the
engine
engine,
room.
is that the
Yeah,
word?
that's it's like the
That
whole of the
sounds
boat.
good.
That's where you probably took the history tour because I also did the history tour. They take you down there, and then you gotta go down this scary little elevator. Did you do that?
Oh, not ringing a
Ooh.
bell, not ringing a bell. But I did think that is
Mhm.
scary. Just being in the dark by this old engine, that's a new word I
Mhm.
just learned. Uh, it is haunting just being surrounded by the echo, and it's
Mhm.
gross, and it's I don't even know how to
Well,
describe it other than I felt
and
uneasy.
this place has been falling apart for years, has fallen into disrepair. I believe when they shut down in 2020 for COVID, the people who used to own it, they weren't doing any maintenance, and apparently the city of Long Beach was really scared that it was just gonna fall into the ocean. So, also that's terrifying because you probably went on it pre-refurbishment.
I did.
Um, yeah. But we went on after it had been fixed. Still old and crazy looking.
I was thinking when I was going through these tours, we should have done something else,
Yeah,
right? Because you can go on the VIP
yeah,
tour, that's 3
uh-huh,
hours, and I'm looking at the website right
okay.
now. It's a tour of the legendary Queen Mary featuring you're gonna like this, exclusive access to restricted areas.
Like the
Who
pool.
cares? Who cares though? A gourmet lunch. That's the
Oh,
part that I was
oh,
missing
were
out
we
the
gonna
best
do it
too.
in the dining room?
Oh, no, but I know we didn't
No, we
do it.
didn't. Nothing
We can also do
nothing was open when we went on because it was like one of their first events and there was nothing open.
delve into the ship's expansive past on the Glory Days tour.
Ooh. I feel like they should have like a 40s like band and some swing dancers on that.
You can go to the Haunted Encounters.
The
The approximate 1-hour tour will share many of the more well known or infamous stories of the paranormal residents that now occupy the legendary
I
ship.
believe that's the one that I've been on.
That sounds
Mhm.
fun. And in the picture on the website, there's people holding flashlights and looking like they're a part of a Scooby Doo
Oh,
gang just going around a
maybe
corner.
this is different then because I didn't get a flashlight.
Who knows if you actually get a flashlight? I don't know. You can also do the Steam and Steel
Ooh,
tour, which maybe that's what I did. I don't
maybe.
know.
That sounds historical.
You take approximately 25 oh, no, it says the Steam and Steel tour will take guests approximately 25 below the waterline. 25 what?
Feet. Depths?
I don't like
Leagues?
that.
I feel like these are all C words except for feet.
25 25 leagues?
25 leagues under the sea? Nah, that's really deep. That can't be like, I believe 25. We don't fact check anything, but wasn't there an old movie called 25?
Wasn't it
Oh,
25,000?
okay. I was gonna say,
20,000 leagues under
oh,
the sea? It's just it's got a 3
okay.
zeros in it, I think. I feel
Oh,
confident, but also unwarranted confidence.
okay. I was gonna say
You
because
could
at 25, if it's that deep, I don't want you to be getting eaten by that giant squid puppet.
you could take a graveyard tour. In the graveyard tour, quote, leads visitors on a 2-hour journey through various areas of the ship rarely seen by the general
Ooh,
public.
we should have done that.
So why I think we should have gone hard, done a graveyard tour, done the one with the flashlight, and called it a
Like,
day.
well,
That could have been
I
fun.
don't know. Were these other tours available at that time? We didn't do our homework. Sometimes I want to take revenge on things, and I think maybe this is something that we can take revenge on at some point.
Hold on. There are more options for us. You could do the Glory Days tour presented in Espanol. You could do the Hollywood tour where you step into the glitz and glamour of the golden era of cinema as you explore the legendary ocean liner that once hosted Hollywood's elite. I don't think I care about that. Oh, and for those interested in decor, you could do the VIP Art Deco tour. Oh, this could be us. There's a picture of a small child in a tiara. It is the Royal VIP tour in afternoon tea. Although, fuck afternoon tea. I'm so sick of afternoon tea. Also, with a steak, maybe. Oh, that would be swell. They're never going to invite us after this glowing review I'm about to give. So we're going to have to take our business to a Carnival cruise
Ooh,
ship.
yeah. Okay. Okay. I can do that. I want to be on a cruise. I looked at the website before this because I was trying to figure out what was open to eat. And I did look at the
Mhm.
tours, and the only tour they had was the paranormal tour. And then I watched a Google video. I watched a Google video. I watched a YouTube. I think I sent you the video. And I said, "Should we do this instead?" And then, spoiler alert, the person who went on that tour also said it wasn't that fun. So I said, eh, you know, either one of them, I think we have equal chances of having a fine-ish time.
Something that upsets me is that I'm literally still going through this terrible list of tours that I'm assuming you learn the same thing on every
Yeah, as we
tour.
learned in
There
Salem.
is a paranormal exactly, there's a paranormal ship walk. I'm not even gonna read that, and then there's the Grey Ghost
The Grey
Project.
Ghost Project was the one that was happening while we were there, but that was like an exclusive invite only tour.
It takes a you can purchase
Yeah,
tickets,
then it
so
was
I don't
only
know
the
if that's true.
influencers, and we are not them. We are just regular
Well,
Joes spending our own
in
money.
that one, you take a skeptical and evidence-based approach to investigating the supernatural. That's always what ghost hunting
I
is
was
about,
gonna
so I
say,
don't what are the
well,
other
I guess
options?
if you're not a skeptical individual, is it guided by someone who doesn't believe in it? Because then maybe they're gonna try to point out the scientific things versus like, "Let me."
The tour.
You have already stated that you don't like having interaction with the tour guides. I don't think you wanna be the tour guide.
What if I need to be the tour guide?
You're just gonna step up. You're just gonna you're gonna pull a Katie and you're just gonna march up there and raise your hand and be like, "I'm leading this tour now. I'm the captain
Yeah,
now."
exactly. It's like the Great Movie Ride.
Mhm.
We finally get to the bottom of the list, and what is it? The 57 Ghost Seance. I'm gonna read this description in full because I think it's important. Join apparitionist. I'm not gonna say the name
Yeah.
because
We're just
I'm
gonna
about to
trash
say
this
something.
man.
I don't wanna upset him. Join apparitionist. I'm just gonna call him Casper
Mhm.
in an intimate and immersive experience that will bring you face to face with the spirited past. That's past, PASSED, so
Oh,
dead.
okay. I see what they did there.
I'm just gonna click on purchase tickets, just so we know. I think they were about
Yeah, they were
100.
about 100 when we did it.
I think it was $100. Anyway, that's too much.
We ended up going alone, but when this originally happened in the group chat, the entire group, we were all down for it. All 4 of us, all 4 of the crew. And then one by one, they all dropped out like flies, except us.
We
We
dwindled.
dwindled. Our numbers lessened, but not us because we are A, suckers, and B, stupid, and C, we're hardcore. We're like, no, we paid for this. We are going to drive our happy butts an hour and a half away to get on an old ship and do it sober.
So the email they send out before you go says, quote, "A sober mind is
Ugh.
required for participation. Should anyone be deemed not in a sober state, there will be denied participation and provided no refund." First of all,
Yeah.
fuck you. How am I supposed to see a ghost
Yeah.
sober?
Maybe that's why we're not seeing them. There wasn't a lot of drinking happen in Salem because nothing was open. When you went to the Stanley, were you a little drunk or were you sober?
I had some wine. I had some wine.
I don't know. I don't.
But there was no ghost there either.
Yeah. Spoilers, everybody. There was no ghosts at the Stanley.
There's never ghosts. They also say that food and beverages will not be permitted, which is also bullshit, because what if I need a snack?
Yeah. I could have taken a fry during that because, well, there was not a lot happening.
The next instruction says the contact through spiritualist means of those lost to people attending this event will not be attempted or provided by the apparition.
Yeah, and we know why because A, you ain't gonna contact anyone, and B, spoiler alert, it's not a real seance. It's a theatrical show. Bow, bow, bow.
So I, in preparation for this, Googled what is a
Mhm,
seance? Because I thought maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm the
mhm,
fool. And Google told me a seance is a meeting where people attempt to communicate with the spirits of the
mhm.
dead, often with the help of a medium.
Yes.
This motherfucker was a medium?
No, he was I think this man is technically a magician, a sleight of hand man. You know what I mean?
I would agree. Although I find it magical.
No. We did come away with a great inside joke. Maybe we made the joke funnier than it was.
So that night at the Queen
Mhm,
Mary, we arrive quite early because we're concerned about number one, the
mhm.
traffic, number two, the
Yep.
parking. Because Queen Mary has some of the worst
Oh
parking
my gosh.
in LA
Yeah.
County. Is that LA
No,
County?
I think that's San Diego County,
Oh my gosh.
maybe? Or
No,
Orange
I
County?
I would bet one cat that it's LA County.
Mm.
Oh, it is in Los
Oh,
Angeles
damn.
County. Wow, I get a cat?
You get to choose one. I was gonna come up and steal the other one. You were
Oh,
wrong.
which one would you have taken?
Oh, that's a hard question because Teddy hates me, but Pepe he's got too much energy for me. So I think I'd have to be forced to take Ted, and we would just learn to love each other.
I would like that for
It
you
would be
guys.
like a like one of the smutty books that I read, and it would be like an enemies to lovers type situation.
But instead, you just feed him twice a
Yeah,
day and
and I
water
make him
him?
fatter, and then Kevin gets really mad at
Oh
me.
my gosh. Kevin would get so upset. Actually, I was at work yesterday and Kevin sent me a picture of Ted in the harness sitting outside.
Just living his best life.
He takes him out for walks, I don't understand it, and by walks, I mean in the
Yeah,
backyard,
with his little leash.
and then he gets tired.
The other option is he could put him in the little stroller. So I think option 1 with the harness is probably better for his meatball health.
We arrive to Long
Mhm.
Beach late at night because this event starts at 10 PM.
God, what time did we get
We're
there?
elderly. We're elderly. I don't know why we decided to go
I
this
don't know
late.
either.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I think there were 2 options of time,
Mhm.
and I think we actively chose the late one because we're idiots. We went on February 24th,
Oh my god,
2024.
this
If you're watching, somebody comment what day of the week that was because I'm not looking it
wait,
up.
hold on, I'll Google it. I think it was a
Oh
God,
my
was it a
gosh.
Friday? I don't think it was. Maybe it was a Saturday.
This feels like a Saturday experience.
What day? The 24th?
February
That
24th,
that was a
2024.
Saturday, baby.
Oh, shoot. What were we even doing that
'Cause
day?
God, we did have to do something else.
I'm sure other bullshit was included. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
I'll
we
look it
gotta
up.
find the pictures.
But anyway, we arrive at the Queen Mary hella
Yeah.
early. What are you wearing? Because God knows that's important.
So I'm wearing a black dress that has a kind of heart cutout that reminded me of a Ouija board that I bought specifically for this event. I have a beautiful Ouija board purse. I brought that. And then I think maybe I had on maybe a beret. I can't remember. Or maybe a headband. And then I also remember this. I have these boots. I love them. I call them my witch boots. They look like little old Victorian booties, and I can't really walk in heels, but these are one of the only shoes that I can. And so I wore them, and these shoes had zero traction at all. And I did not figure this out until we were on the ship. And I think I probably almost died several times because those floors are very shiny and waxy. So this encounter led me to put little shoe grips on the bottom of those boots so that I wouldn't die at a later date.
Imagine if you were the
Oh my
151st
god.
ghost.
I would love it. You know that I wanna die somewhere haunted because if there are ghosts, I would like to be one of them.
Can I make a
Sure.
prediction? I don't think you'd get along with the other ghosts.
That
I think there'd be some weird tension.
probably.
By the way, I looked up what we did that day. You're gonna
Oh,
love
good.
this. Number 1, I got my eyebrows
Oh, that's
microbladed,
right. That's right. Because you were already in the area.
and we followed that up with a brunch where Kristen's husband ordered pancakes that were set ablaze, but they didn't actually light up.
That's true.
So we were all just standing there with our phones looking like idiots, waiting for the waitress to light it up, and it barely had a tiny flame. It was so
This was one
embarrassing
of those things.
for the
Yeah.
waitress,
Yeah,
not
not
for
for
us.
us. We can't just go out and have a lunch together somewhere. We have to pick, like, an aesthetic place that we've seen on TikTok, and probably the food is bad. It's never as good as it looks, and this was one of those instances. And also, it had to be a halfway meeting point for all of us so that we could all just flock like crows on this place, just descend on it with our phones and our high hopes and then be very disappointed.
And we all look ugly, so it's not like we were trying to
No,
take
we weren't taking
photos.
pictures.
Also, I'm just rewatching the video of Matt with
Just being
the
so let down.
he's so stoic, he keeps a straight face. You look just so unimpressed, and Trisha, bless her, has her phone ready to go,
Right there.
very closely videotaping
Just
just the waffles. I think I'm just videotaping how stupid we are
yeah.
because I have the whole table in the frame.
Good, good, good.
Anyway, we're never going back.
No. If you're gonna advertise a flaming waffle, you better almost start a fire every time someone orders it.
Better get my whatever eyebrows I have left just
Yeah,
blazed
right.
off. So we go to the Queen Mary, we get there, we're really early, we park. Parking is expensive. I think it's included? Is it not included?
I think no, it was not included. Parking at the Queen Mary is always like parking at Universal Studios is $30. And there's not even a city walk to go with it. And no one is ever there to tell you where even the parking lot is. You just drive somewhere, hand someone your credit card, and hope that's a person who's actually a parking attendant.
They're like, "Get out of here, these bitches." All the women dressed in black, I don't know.
When we were describing our outfits is that we look like people who would probably had our husbands murdered. because you showed up in a fur coat and a veil, and I was really impressed with this.
I bought that on Poshmark for $40, and I thought, "I
Yeah.
need
Is
this."
that the coat that got lost at your old apartment building and you thought it was gone forever and then one day they found it?
Oh, Jesus. Oh my god. I moved, and I accidentally shipped it to my old apartment complex, and I said, "Hey, do you have it?" And they said, "Yes, we do." So then I drive myself to get to the apartment complex. They said, "Ma'am, we don't have this package." And I was like, "Who the fuck told me they did?"
Who stole my coat?
And then they emailed me, I think later that weekend, and said, "Hey, we found the coat."
You're like, "I'm not here anymore." So I think you had to wait months to get that coat.
I did have to wait for it, but it came, and it made it all the way to the Queen Mary. Now I just have it ready to go.
Yeah. Our picture of our outfits will obviously be photoshopped into just a dumb looking thumbnail. So you'll get to see those beautiful outfits.
So we show up dressed for the event, and we look around at the other folk on the boat, and we think, I don't know if anyone's going to the same thing we are. 'Cause everyone looks normal AF.
When you go to things like this, there's a certain type of crowd you're expecting. Maybe not as hardcore as we went, but you're definitely looking for a spooky crowd. You're looking for someone who's got a pumpkin purse or some green hair or definitely a shirt with ghost face on it.
I would say somebody who looks emotionally
Mhm.
unstable and maybe like a cigarette mom.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Cigarette moms, I think, believe in
Mhm.
ghosts.
But I think they would be going on a ghost tour, not a seance,
Everyone was confused. Everyone was confused as to what they thought this was gonna be,
us included.
us included. So we're obviously there too early because we are paranoid about the
Mhm.
parking. So what do we do, Kristen?
We walked around the ship and we took pictures for quite a long time. And then we went to the bar. Why? Because we were thirsty, but we couldn't drink. So what did we have?
And it's bullshit because I would love to spend my
Mhm.
money. Let me spend my money. Let me get a
Yeah.
Manhattan. I will be so much more impressed with a little
Yeah.
alcohol in me.
Yeah. I don't think there is no amount of alcohol in the world that could have made that experience good, fine.
It's hard to s It really
Yeah.
is.
So we have our Diet Coke. We slowly meander. I think the only place that was crowded in that whole place was the bar.
I think so. And it makes you wonder who's drinking at the Queen Mary because it's such a specific
You got to
destination.
pay $30 for parking.
It's not like there are other bars, so you can't just go bar hopping around the area, or maybe you can, but you're gonna be drinking at the Bubba Gumps across the water.
We should have just gone to the Bubba Gump. We probably would have had a better time.
I think I would've. Uh, but who's the clientele?
Old old people, but when I say old people, like older people, like older than me, like grandma, grandpa. Maybe people who had been on that ship in World War II, like a 90-year-old man.
And I'm thinking, what kind of people did I see there? And in my imagination, it's a bunch of dandies,
Yeah.
like men with the hat and the high-waisted trousers and a vest. But I know that wasn't actually real.
No.
That was just my dream.
We did see a lot of people who were on the Grey Ghost tour, so I think we saw maybe a lot of influencers. I remember there being a lot of flannel there. A lot of men in flannel shirts.
And that's another thing that I have to remind myself. Normal people don't dress on theme to every event. People are
Yeah,
normal and
we're
well-adjusted
not.
and don't be validated by strangers at a ghost experience.
To tell us that we look good and that we look interesting.
Or, "Oh, you guys really look great for the
Yeah. "Oh
experience."
my gosh, are you guys going on a ghost tour?" "Why, yes." No, actually,
Yes,
no, we're not. We're going on to a theatrical
unfor
seance.
So we go, we have our Diet Coke. We're just waiting to pass the time at this
Yeah.
point, and then finally, we make our way down to the lobby where we meet our ghost
Mhm.
tour. And that's where we see our eclectic group of
Yeah.
people and our tour guide, who I have named
Mhm.
Casper, who finds us and checks
With
in.
a little pad of paper. It's not a high-tech experience where he scanned a ticket. He literally wrote our names down on a small pad of paper.
He's a magician, so I think he could maybe make that work. I don't know. Maybe that was part of a trick. What do I know? I don't know. So he gathers us all, and the first thing he does is he said, "If anybody needs to use the restroom, please do so now."
And Alyssa had to use the rest.
I had all that Diet Coke, and I was scared because at this point, I thought something's gonna happen. Something's going down. I'm gonna see a ghost. Something's gonna tap me on the
Mhm.
shoulder. I'm gonna feel the hair on my armpit stand
Mhm.
up. I'm gonna walk out with a bruise on my hip that I didn't know about.
A
I
claw
I
mark,
thought shit was gonna get real. I
a
didn't know.
scratch.
So I thought, "I gotta pee before something touches
That's
me
true. That's true.
without my
Yeah.
consent."
Yeah, I think we went into this with hopes high, which is I feel how we always go into things. We have high hopes and then it's just low expectations.
I'm not a hater. I'm really not.
Yeah. I think even I was excited about this. I feel like sometimes when you get really scared, I'm like, "Oh, Alyssa's getting a little ruffled. Maybe something's gonna happen and I should be scared too." And so I feel like I'm like, "Ooh, maybe I'll get touched."
Everybody pees,
Mhm.
and we all return back to the group, and he leads us downstairs somewhere to a
To a
room,
room.
and the room looks spooky.
The set dressing, beautiful. It had one of those I think it's even called a seance chair, one of those big old chairs with the red velvet cushion, and it was beautiful. I would like that. That's going gotta go in the goth mansion.
So the chairs are all set up in a giant circle too, so we're all facing the people directly across from
Mhm.
us, and he has us enter in a way that feels very like a seance, and when I say like a seance, I don't
We
actually
don't know.
fucking know what that means because I've never been to a seance, but we all go in one by one, and I think we go
Yeah,
clockwise.
like, I believe there was, like, a big spiel about how we had to enter the room in, like, a certain way so as to not upset the spirits, like, we had to be respectful of them, to which I say, "What spirits?" Because it was fake.
What spirits? So we sit down, everyone's in there single file. Kristen and I are pretty close to the front of the
Mhm.
line, so we sit down. We're oddly close to the illusionist, magician, I
Mhm.
don't know,
The seance
um,
master.
the seance master, and we all sit down, and this is where nothing happens.
For roughly was it an hour?
The ticket says 10 to 11:30, but by the time we all peed and sat down, I would say it was closer to 10:45,
Okay.
11. So he calls individual people up to perform what I only imagine as a magic
Yeah, I was
trick.
gonna say, these were magic tricks, my man. And not even, like, really cool Penn and Teller tricks. Because at least they sometimes look like they're gonna stab their hands. This man, that was none of this.
And they do a good job of getting you excited because you are not allowed to take
Mhm.
videos or photos when you're in
Correct.
there. And I think it's
So
because they know that if you have just 10 seconds of footage of this, people are not gonna go, myself included.
no, I wouldn't have gone if there had been actual video on the internet for us to go to look at, be like, "Nah, if we're gonna go down there, let's take one of those great ghost tours."
I, of course, went to trusty Reddit because I needed to know, do other people think this sucked too?
Ooh,
And the answer is overwhelmingly yes. So it's amazing to me that people are still going to this and that they're still offering it and selling
I am
tickets.
so validated right now because
I felt good
yeah,
too.
because sometimes I'm like, "Are we just too negative?" Again, I know that you don't like to be a hater, but historically, I'm a hater. So I'm like, am I just very negative all the time about everything?
It's hard when you have all the like spooky goth girl influencers getting invited to like the Queen Mary or whatever haunted
Mhm.
event is du jour. And they all talk about how great it is and how much they love it. And they look all like goth and cute. And I think I want to be goth and cute and go have fun and talk to
Mhm.
ghosts. But they're all fucking
Oh,
liars.
if I remember correctly, those people got to have a drink first because I remember a lot of people saying that for the press, they got a drink at the bar.
Their sober mind wasn't
There
required, but
yeah,
mine
ours,
was.
the regular people had to have a sober mind.
I don't want to say my mind's operating at a higher capacity than theirs because I don't know them. But I think I could have handled the drink and done
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. I got one brain cell anyway. When I go to these things, I wanna have 0. I just wanna be disassociating in a way that just makes it so that I enjoy everything way too much and everything is funny, and I feel like my $100 has been well spent.
And that's a great point because now that we know it was just a magic show, right? Like they're doing parlor
Yeah.
tricks, they're doing tricks with
Mhm.
cards, they're making things float and move, right? It's not like there's a ghost
Mhm.
happening. We're not connecting with any
Mhm.
spirits. Now that I know it's a magic show, I 100% would have been happier with alcohol.
Same. And also, some of the things that were supposed to be spooky were straight up. And I know there's video of this because you can take the video of this. There's a doll that, like, its head moves every once in a while. And it's very clearly a remote control doll. And that was one of the better things that happened, was watching that doll move.
I was chosen for some audience participation, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Not everybody got audience participation. I didn't.
That's true. I know. I'm special. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough being me.
That was the only part of the show that I was, like, actually invested in, was, like, the audience participation.
Oh my gosh, and we have to talk about this one portion. It's been so long that we've been that I can't even remember the punchline of these jokes, I just remember how they made me feel. There was one portion where we all had to snap to the beats
Oh
of our
my
heart.
god.
Was that it? And then they had us find our pulse, and then
Yeah, on your
what were we even
we
doing?
were trying
We were
we
all
were all
connecting.
connecting, we were connecting with each other, we were connecting with the spirits, we were connecting with the room, we were vibing, and us bitches look at each other. We look at each other, and we very obviously don't know where our pulse is, so we just sit there and do that with everybody else.
I can't snap either, so I was just moving my hand.
That's something I didn't learn about you until that evening.
I can't whistle
I can't
either.
whistle either.
That's good.
That should have told us right away that this was gonna be the pace of the evening.
The magic trick they called me up to do, another woman and I put our fingertips on a key, and she was on one side and I was on the other side. And the key magically rotated and then fell on the ground, and they had to make sure that we didn't move. I will say, I don't know how the key moved.
Spirits,
Was it a ghost?
ghosts.
Was it a ghost? And I remember after it fell, I looked at the other woman and I thought, was that supposed to happen? Did we do it right? Like, was that the trick? Because I'm like, I'm not too good to fuck up.
I guess we'll never know. Did anyone else have this experience? Did you drop the key? Was the key supposed to do some whoa? Ooh,
There's your ghost.
my ghost is the dog. Am I still in frame?
Yeah, you're still
Okay.
there.
Because literally, Lou just, I don't know what she's doing, but she just ramrodded right into the tripod and moved it. It's my experience, folks. I got an old dog. She's blind. She don't know what she's doing. I don't want to get up to adjust this. It is what it is. I feel like all of our episodes have been cursed in some way, shape, or form, and this is just carrying it on. But at least we're recording.
Sorry. Yeah, it's hard to get into it. Uh, just going back, though, 0% of the things impressed
Mhm.
me. I was not
I was
scared
not scared.
in any way. I did look around the room and think something's gonna pop out of me. Something's gonna jump out around the corner. There's gonna be someone dressed
Yeah,
as a ghost.
I did too.
Where's the fun part?
I did too, because again, like, the set dressing was good. And the whole time they have this red light on. So it brings out the spooky ambiance. They had what I assume was just like a very old air conditioning that sometimes made some noises. And we thought that was part of the show, but I don't think it was. I think it was just the air conditioning kicking on and off.
We were that desperate for something scary to happen that we're like, "Oh, shit. You hear that?"
And then we figured out that it was an air conditioning. And nothing really did happen. Like the whole premise of the show, it ended up being more about the man's connection to the boat, our seance master, and him talking about his connections with death and the afterlife, and also his grandpa, who
No, I just thought, this is all not real, right? What are the
it's not
chances?
real, because this is when I really started to be like, this is bullshit. Because he goes in and he tells this big, long ass, dramatic story about when he's a child, his grandparents, neighbor, this really nice lady who used to give him candy and he used to talk to, whatever. She gets murdered. And she gets murdered by, is it the son of Sam? I can't remember what murder.
Oh, was it Richard Ramirez?
Maybe. It was one of, there are a few Southern California killers, and it was one of those. And I said at this point, you can find all this on the internet. I went and Googled this afterwards just to be right because I love being right. And this whole story, almost verbatim, came off of like multiple websites. There was nothing that was like unsubstantiated. It was all right there for me to look up on Dr. Google.
Oh, and the punchline, another
Yes.
punchline was that his what was it, his great-grandfather used to be a bartender
On the Queen
on the,
Mary.
wow, what are the chances?
At some point, you're looking at all of these pictures of people who have passed away. And then one of them is his grandfather. And his
I
name,
know, God, it's terrible.
I will have to say, this is our inside joke because the whole time, this man, anytime he referred to his grandfather, he called him Tata Joe. And he said it in such a way that it was just like, Tata Joe. And
It's crazy
we couldn't figure
because
out what Tata
in
was
my
for.
memory, you say it, "Tata Joe." In my mind, I hear a elderly Latino man with a very deep voice going, "My Tata
Oh, that's
Joe."
true. That was more of the vibe.
So I think we went to 2 different seances.
He becomes more and more like my Italian grandma whenever I
I was
say
gonna say he sounds like Super
it.
Mario.
Yeah. But yeah, so the punchline is that, Dada Joe Dada Joe. I can't not
Tata Joe.
oh, no. I can't not say it like that now. That Tata Joe, worked on the Queen Mary as a bartender most of his life, and that's how this man is connected to the Queen Mary. And also there was some sort of thing like Tata Joe gave him his ring, and didn't he use it for a trick at some point in time? And we were like, "That's not Tata Joe's ring. That's just like a stupid, not even real gold band that this man got on Amazon."
I blocked it out. I'm gonna manifest something right
Mhm.
now. Okay, hear me out, stay
Okay.
with me. I think, just reflecting right now, this is a dream I've had for 20
Oh, I love
seconds.
those dreams.
I think I could come up with a better ghost story
Yeah.
in 10 minutes if I had
Oh,
to. If I really
yeah,
had to.
definitely.
And someday, when we're
Oh, are we gonna
famous,
have our own seance?
we're gonna have a live tour. Hold on. We are going to gather audience suggestions, maybe like a noun, an adjective, a person's name and a place. We're gonna gather it
Mhm.
up. I'm gonna go backstage. I'm gonna come up with the story, and I'm gonna go out and present a seance
Wow.
in the form of Tata
Tata
Joe.
Joe. Tata Joe.
Literally nobody wants this,
We're
but
gonna
I'm
do
here
it.
to give it to you. You're
This is
welcome.
this is now, everybody, we've manifested our live tour, and it's gonna be called a theatrical seance.
This tour or the Queen Mary show was the 57 ghosts, so I think ours would probably be
0
0 ghosts.
ghosts. Yeah, I guess that's true.
0 ghosts.
And then the thing that was the kicker that we knew it was fake for sure was, and this is where my knowledge of the
How many kickers
there's more.
are there?
All of them were kickers. But this is where my Roman Empire knowledge of the Queen Mary comes in clutch. At the very end, we forgot this. In the very beginning, they made someone take a video with the flash on, and it had to be on an iPhone. And then he takes a video of the room. And then at the very end, he takes, was it another video or was it the same video? I can't remember. But there's a scrying mirror in the middle of the table. And when you watch the video back, all of a sudden, there's a face in the mirror,
Ah,
which
damn.
I debunked as it's just the flashlight. It's just a flashlight on the phone. And also, I think because it had to be an iPhone, I believe it was the 3 camera holes that made it look like the face. I think that was maybe the other possibility. This is just me talking out of my asshole. But then he says, the spirit that we called forth was the spirit of the girl who died in the pool. Queen.
Not the
Not
pool.
the pool. Bitch, that is a fake story. That is not.
Although, didn't he tell us
He
that?
did at the very end. But then you're summoning a fake ghost. You're telling us, and basically then at the end, he was like, ghosts are just memories. Ghosts are just happy thoughts. Ghosts can be whatever you want them to be. And I was like, I want a ghost to be a real ghost or as at least a scare actor. I want a ghost dragging chains. I want a ghost like touching me. I want a ghost going, ooh. I want them to say my name. I want them to whisper it in my ear. Crest. Ooh. None of that happened.
My ghost looks like Mary Todd Lincoln in my imagination.
Yeah, I would like a Victorian ghost. I'm big on Victorian ghost children because I think children ghosts are especially creepy. So I'd like a sick Victorian child in a nightgown going, "Help me, Kristen!" That's my ghost.
I'm not scared of anything shorter than me, so I'm not into the kids. Although, how tall is Mary Todd Lincoln?
I don't know. We don't fact check. I
I need to reassess.
Well, Abraham Lincoln was tall, right? So maybe she was short. Like maybe that was part of their relationship thing. Like one is tall, one is small. Maybe it's like you and I.
I'll have to Google this eventually.
Yeah.
So the seance ended.
Mhm.
Kristen and I look at each other. We haven't exchanged a word
No.
yet at this point because we've been respectful throughout this
We
experience.
wait until we get past all of the other people we went on the tour with to have our quote unquote reaction.
What was my direct quote to you?
Oh God, I don't remember what your direct quote was, but I think we just both looked at each other and was like, that was bullshit. I can't believe we spent $100 on that.
It was terrible.
And then we had to get our ass home. We had to drive home. I don't even know that we got a Diet Coke at this point on the way home. And anything that doesn't,
We were probably
it
too
was too
upset.
upset. Anytime we don't get a Diet Coke on the way home, that's a trip that's bullshit. It's a bullshit trip.
Although I can't have caffeine. I can't have caffeine past 6 p.m.
Oh, I can. I suckled the teat of the of Diet Coke since I was a wee child. Caffeine does not affect me
Oh
anymore.
my god.
I'm having caffeine right now, and it is almost 8 o'clock in the evening.
I had to quit drinking coffee at 2 today.
Oh, you know what? I'm metal and you're not.
I
AKA,
I guess so.
you you were raised by semi-normal people, and I was raised by a crazy person.
Would you go back to the Queen Mary?
Yeah, honestly. You know what? Take my money again, but for revenge. Maybe side quest, we'll have to talk about Shacktoberfest because they're not having it again
Now they
at
just
the Dark
have
Harbor.
regular Dark
Yeah,
Harbor.
but was a limited edition Halloween event.
Also
Also
terrible.
terrible. It
Word.
was the worst, but we got a great t-shirt.
We
We
did.
all did
Yeah.
get t-shirts of Shaq as like a is he like a wizard or like a scary sorcerer? And there was like a blow
Yeah.
up. There was like an inflatable that they made specifically for the event. It was like the entrance, like it was like a Shaq arch that you walked through.
It should be noted that the event we went to did not have merchandise.
Oh yeah. Any place that doesn't have merchandise, get the fuck out. I want a t-shirt at least
I don't know if I need a t-shirt, but I want the confidence of a
to
company
make merchandise.
that exactly. People who really believe in what they're selling.
Yeah. Or the other thing, I love a metal cup. Give me a t-shirt or a metal cup or a magnet. I'll buy a magnet.
Kristen has a lot of cups at her
I
house.
do.
She's got a lot of
I
cups.
do.
Maybe it's better they didn't have merch, because would you have bought something?
No. Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. If we had been
Yes,
allowed
you
if
would
we
have.
had been allowed to shop prior, I probably would have bought the merch. But afterwards, I would have been like, "Fuck no, I am not giving any of these people any more of my money."
Well, as we already indicated, we had a lot of free time prior to the tour, so you would have walked away after having spent $100.
And that I would have been so mad.
Maybe we're maturing. Maybe we don't need merch to feel alive.
That's not true because I am 100% going to buy one t-shirt this weekend at least. Probably two because I'll have to buy one for Matt. I've already sent it to the group chat. You've already seen it.
I know I have seen it, and I remember I thought I should reply to that, and then I didn't.
It is a good shirt, and I will be getting it. I might even just put that shirt on.
Oh, no, you're gonna wear the band shirt to the band?
It's a great shirt.
How embarrassing. Although I would love that for you. I dare you. This is a dare.
What do I do if they don't have the shirt? Because we do know that once things blow up on the internet, like all of a sudden they're gone.
I'm gonna be for real with you. I don't think it's blowing up. I think this is specifically for you. I don't think anyone else wants that shirt.
I'll think about it because I haven't planned my outfit yet.
I'd prefer you show up in a wife beater and then buy your new shirt.
You know what?
Exactly.
Sometimes I like to do it for the plot.
I'm ready for you.
This might be something that now, like Alyssa, sometimes I get dreams 10 seconds before they happen, but most of the time it's about merch. I don't know that I needed something in my life until I see it, and then all of a sudden I've never needed anything more, and this might be one of those situations. We'll see.
We'll see, time will tell. You didn't ask me, so I'm just gonna say it. I don't need to go back to the Queen Mary.
But you don't even wanna come with me to get our revenge? What if we go on, like, a combination of 2 of those ghost tours where we can get lit in the bar beforehand?
That's gonna be $400 later.
I thought they came in, like, a combo package.
Do they really? Oh my god. Here's my hot
Mhm.
take. I've been on a lot of weird ghost experiences. I keep going back to new ones. I can't keep wasting money on
I
the
guess
old
that's
places.
true. Though that's not entirely true, though, because you're taking me spoiler alert, you're taking me for a very haunted, very merry Winchester House Christmas tour, and I am so excited. And you've already been, and you've already told me there's no ghosts.
That's true. There's 0 ghosts at the Winchester Mansion. I refuse to believe it. They have seances. We could try
Oh
it.
my god. Is it a theatrical seance?
I don't know. But I think there is a seance room, so we could do that.
Ugh. This is the dream that I've had for 10 seconds, is I would like to have a Christmas seance.
I think you're gonna summon Jesus. I don't know what other ghosts there are on Christmas.
Jesus and I, we're not on speaking terms. I'm sorry, Terry. I know that you pray for me.
Maybe we get tattoos next time we're together.
You mean the I
This
was gonna
weekend, are we
say,
getting tattooed? We have some time.
dog, do I gotta you gotta find the establishment because I know you will only go to a place that is rated
4.5.
4.5 or above. You know what? Honestly, if you find a place and walk-ins welcome and we can decide on a design, we can get the tattoo that we were supposed to get, our beautiful girl tattoos that we were supposed to get in Salem, and because nothing was open past 10, we could not.
Alright, Kristen. Queen Mary, when can we leave?
For you, never.
I'm not going back.
For me, maybe I'll take another Valentine's Day trip next year. Subscribe.